Good morning, Stinger Squad, and today is the 7th day of May. And welcome to the next edition of your history assignment. For this week's history assignment, we're going to be looking at reform movements in America. Now, when I talk about reform movements, we're talking about two primary movements. One is the abolition of slavery, which is to simply abolition. It just means doing away with slavery. And there's this idea that slavery, even though it had been present in the United States really since Jamestown, and since the Jamestown's founding, all the way up to this particular time period, slavery had been present. And there was this idea that slavery was bad for the country and that we needed to end it. Now, we had unfortunately here in the United States tied ourselves economically to slavery. And this idea of slavery it's just this kind of weird kind of thing that happens that took place here in the United States. It actually, again, it began in Jamestown, but during this time period, there is this idea that we need to do away with it. Okay, that's one. The other is the suffragist movement. Now, with the suffragist movement, it's kind of a term. Suffrage itself means it's the right to vote. And there was this idea, and again, particularly prior to this time period, women were not allowed to vote here in the United States. So there's this idea that women need to have the ability to have a say in their government and that they should have a right to vote. That's called the suffrage movement. Now, within that, we're going to combine both of those ideas together because, again, it's this reform movement that's beginning to take place just prior to the Civil War. Now, we're going to be studying some particular individuals in this unit who were directly involved in both the reform movement of abolition and also the reform movement of suffrage. Now, for this assignment has three particular parts. One, you're already here and you're watching the video, so that's the first step. The next step is I need you to complete the guided notes packet. You'll see that on Google Classroom. Now, in order to complete that, you can either use an electronic program, or if you're having trouble with that, you can simply print the packet off, complete it, and take pictures of your completed work and submit those on Google Classroom. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, so I want you to complete your packet. Next, there is a slideshow presentation that I need you to watch. It's called the Abolitionist Vocab. Now, on this, again, it will talk about some of those individual reformers within the abolition movement. Okay, finally, the last thing I want you to do is I want you to complete it's a study guide, is what it's actually titled as, but essentially it's a graphic organizer that divides. It's two columns. One is the abolitionists, the other is the suffrage movement. Those individuals involved in each of those. So you need to go back and use the first couple of pages that you will have completed in the packet to simply fill out the diagram. Okay, and that's all I need you to do. Now, the diagram itself, again, that study guide is, I sent that to you guys, each to your Google Classrooms, so you'll be able to find those there. You'll have a copy. You'll need to make your own copy, and then, again, once it's completed, make sure that you title it with your name, also, and that you'll have your first name and last name. Title it the Study Guide for Suffragists and Abolition, and then rename it, and then complete it, and then turn it in to Google Classroom. All right, folks, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and enjoy.